Hello everyone, welcome back to Garden Fever. It's been a while. One crazy year to say the least. I'm Corey Lefevre. I'm your host, coming direct to you through your phone, tablet, or computer. And I just wanted to come to you guys today and talk to you a little bit about some tips, some garden suggestions. No, I'm not going to get into politics, and no, I'm not going to get into the coronavirus. However, I will tell you this, it has been one hell of a year, a very busy year for me. But I wanted to stop by and say hi to everybody and let you know that I am still around, still planning on making videos. I do have a couple of good tips and things to share with you today, and just wanted to kind of talk to you all. Pulling weeds in your back. One of the things that happened to me this year, aside from all the menagerie of things that went on this year, is I threw out my back, and it went out. So I've been educating myself a lot on it, and I realized that taking care of the back is an important thing. But that being said, I came across some stuff that made me have some epiphanies when it came to gardening on how stressful I was being on my back. If you're like me and you like to pull your own weeds, now I know some of you will just spray or just till them all up and then plant and then kind of keep them down through mulch and whatnot, and all that works if that's what you choose to do. And I do on that on some things. I've had other videos where I talk about mulch and other types of weed blocks and stuff like that. That's not what I'm talking about here. I like to pull weeds a lot of times too, because one, you don't always get them all. And I know some people are like, that's not a good thing, but part of building topsoil is the living root. And the one seed that you plant every so many inches or feet or whatever isn't really enough root systems for good topsoil growth. And it's an important factor. So I leave some weeds. Now I know a lot of people like it don't look as good, and they want it to be shiny and perfect for when they show it off to everybody. Look how good I can grow my garden and how pretty it is. But everyone knows that the topsoil is an important part of gardening. So I leave my weeds and I actually pull them. And here's one of the tools that I like to use when pulling weeds. You can snap the root, the tap root especially, way low in the ground. When you yank it up, it leaves a hole, so it helps aerate the topsoil. But in the same process, as you can see through this next example, bending down to pull up weeds can be very, very hard on your back. Some people bring out chairs, but then you got to move it every so often, and then various other things and techniques. If you're like me and you like to pull them, which I do, this next tip will be good for you. Don't bend down like this and yank the weeds out. It's very bad for your back. I figured that out the hard way. I don't think that was the only thing that contributed to my back going out, but it definitely was an irritant to it. So how you want to do it, or my advice to you on how to do it, is to squat like you're going to the bathroom in the woods. It's been a lot of new data is coming out and new science supporting that this is our more natural squatting position or bending down position. It's actually kind of healthy for you to do that every so often. It stretches both your lower back, and it does it evenly, not one side or the other. So I would highly recommend squatting like this when you're yanking your weeds up, and then make sure when you stand back up to lift with your legs. That's one more tip that I'd like to share with you. Okay, I also wanted to talk to you all about bananas and their various stages of ripening. I learned this, so I figured there's a couple things that I learned that I wanted to share with you. You all may already know some of this, and I may be today old in knowing this, but I thought I'd share it with everyone just in case, because knowledge is power. So the various stages of bananas, everybody does. They start out kind of green, then they go yellow, and then they get like little brown spots, and then they start turning brown. What a lot of people don't know is that during these stages, there's different nutrient contents and different stuff that you're getting health-wise during those stages. The green stage is good for probiotics in the gut. It's a very good stage for that. the yellow, when it turns yellow, is the stage that's lower in sugar and has a high fiber content. When it's going from its yellow stage, just barely starting to go to the brown stage, this is best for antioxidants. And it is good. It's good with fiber. I mean, obviously there's potassium in bananas, so fiber is part of that. When it starts to turn brown, that's when it's at its lowest vitamin content. It's starting to lose its nutrients and its potency. And then when it gets overripe, you're not getting a whole lot from it. I wanted to talk to you guys about neurobiology within plants. It's kind of a new science. It's starting to gain some ground, so I wanted to discuss that with you. The work of Michael Pollan, I hope I pronounced that right. It was some really good experiments done with plants. Please use the link below to watch his video. I don't have copyright. Also, I mean, we already know through previous video, that link's in the description too, about how plants communicate with their roots. We're also seeing decision making and some cognitive thought to some degree. Now, Michael Pollan in his video talks about being careful about implying emotion to it and other types of things, other types of thought. But some of his work was pretty interesting, and I recommend everybody go check that out because it is pretty informed. The studies that they have done that plants actually have some coherent thought, whether instinctual based or not, or to what degree and how much thought or emotion is evolved in it, because they don't have really a brain and a nervous system, so we've always just assumed that there's no cognitive thought at all. However, we know that they warn each other through gases and signals through the roots, but there's more involved in it than that. One of the studies that was done was they tied a bunch of plants to pots and suspended them in the air, and then dropped them. We watched the leaves kind of curl up and brace themselves for the drop, but never hit the ground. And then we slowly raised them back up, and then did it again. We did it several times. And I guess by the end of the study, they had learned that although they felt the free fall of falling, that there was not going to be an impact, or at least to some degree. And so they quit doing that. They adapted and learned that the free fall feeling was not going to hurt them. One of the studies, which is done in the link, in the video in the link below in the description, was putting two types of plants next to a pole and then time elapsing them and watching them grow, and they try and reach for the pole, both of them at the same time. They almost throw themselves at it over and over and over, growing each time, and then as soon as one caught the pole, the other one gave up and the other one thrived. So there's some interesting things when it comes to whether plants feel, whether they have any kind of thought or any kind of instinctual thought. So these are things that I thought I'd share with you. I thought they were very interesting. I thank you for tuning in. I think the year is mellowing out a little bit, so we should have some more content coming in the near future as the gears of our economy start to slowly get going again. It's allowing me to hire more help at my day job and my work. My back is getting better, so I can get out in the garden more. Anyway, if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. I'm good about replying, or email me. This is Corey Lefevre with Garden Fever. I appreciate your time and your effort in watching my video. With that, I thank you. And like, share, subscribe, bell. Hit that like button. That's how we get views, and that's how we get the knowledge out. Anyway, till then, next time.